everybody. Today we're going to be creating a structure that is very similar to what we did with our boxes that we created, as well as our stair steps. So this is kind of like a combination of both of those, and this assignment is called Minecraft Structure. The reason why I titled it that is it reminds me of the process actually of playing Minecraft. You can kind of see it's very box-like. It's not going to look like a complete Minecraft structure, but it's going to definitely look like an abstract structure created with different types of blocks. So you're going to start out, and I am going to show you the different stages initially so that you can kind of see how this progresses as you go throughout this whole process. So you're going to start out drawing two-dimensional looking rectangles and squares put together. And on your instructions, I had said that you need to have at least 10 box sections put together. So for instance, you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could have a minimum of just this amount. I did more drawing over here just to fill up my page, but that's absolutely fine if you want to do 10 to 12, or I think I may have 16 or 17, something like that over here. So that's the first stage. And then the second stage to this, we're going to be adding three-dimensional looking boxes. And then the third stage, we're going to add little window cutouts in our box structure. And then stage 4, you're going to have little boxes floating in your atmosphere just to give it a little bit more movement. So this is a really interesting project, and it's going to end up looking really cool, I would think, whenever you finish. So I just wanted to let you preview what was going on before we get started. One thing that you're going to need when you get started, you're either going to need your sketchbook piece of paper, or you could actually use typing paper, whichever is absolutely fine. I would recommend taping it to a surface if you're going to tear it out of your sketchbook. You're going to need a ruler and obviously a pencil. So what you're going to do is take your piece of paper, you're going to hold it horizontally, and the horizon line is going to actually be around the center of your piece of paper. So draw that out, and then you're going to put your vanishing point around the center of your paper. So one thing that I would recommend that you guys do is start in the middle and then move out. So some of your box structure is going to be on your horizon line, some is going to be above, and then some is going to be below. So keep that in mind when you're actually creating this structure. So I'm going to start in the middle, and as I go in the center of this piece, I'm going to be thinking a little bit about, varieties of different sizes of box sections that I can create. So this one that I'm making is kind of a medium looking, it's a stair step looking thing, right? So I'm going to leave it like that, and the one that I'm about to attach to it is going to be kind of a small to medium section. So the main thing is just, unlike your stairs where they had to be all the same size, bring a little bit of variety to your piece. As you go throughout this too, make sure that your ruler is straight. I'm holding it, up against the edge of my paper. Just make sure that you're lining it up. And keep that eraser handy. If you have like a little stray line, that sort of thing. So I'm going to draw some of this for you guys just to see the process and all that, but you guys get to come up with your own designs when you're making this. So just keep that in mind as you work, it needs to be your own thoughts and ideas. You can definitely look at my example, and that's absolutely fine, but ultimately, you guys are the designer for your very own structure that you're making. So you can kind of look, I've got a very small section, kind of a medium small going on, and then more of a medium large, I guess you could say. The main thing to keep in mind is that all your lines need to be parallel to each other. Just make sure you know that you're keeping these things straight. And one thing that I would tell you that would be very valuable is as you go from section to section, stand back and look at yours from a distance and just see if you've got a good variety, if you've got some really nice movement happening. The main thing is to just make your page look interesting, to fill it up. I definitely would not do these teeny tiny little boxes, you know, and have a huge amount of negative space as you go. So just keep those things in mind. You just want to keep it interesting and make it your own and all that kind of good stuff. And you can continue on. The main thing I think I would tell you as you start to continue on with the base of this thing is consider how you want this thing to sit. It's got to have a substantial foundation for this thing to actually work. Also, as you go, check your corners, make sure they all connect. You want it to be a structure to where, you know, if we had hurricanes or any kind of craziness, crazy weather, big windstorms or something, it could actually stay. It could actually withstand all of that. So, you know, just something to think about. You're the architect of this thing. Okay, so with this, hopefully you have just a general idea as to what to do. I try not to make my videos over 10 minutes. So this is the beginning of stage one. You end up, you know, possibly with something like this. Just, you know, consider the movement. What makes things really interesting is not only the positive space that you see, but the spaces in between these boxes, which are really cool too. So you want some little openings, and you want different shapes and all that kind of stuff going on in your piece. So look forward to the next video. The next video is going to be step 2. So I'll be walking y'all through how you actually make this look dimensional, and it is not as hard as it looks. I'll see y'all in a bit.